Welcome into this week's edition of the Stompers Managers Report. I'm Kiran Costa, joined by Stompers manager Zach Pace, and we haven't really had a tough week yet, Coach. I'm going to come at you with the same question. You win the week yet again. This one was a little bit more difficult. You lost the first two games against Walnut Creek, but end the week on a little three-game winning streak. What really went so well this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have had some tough weeks. We've definitely had our fair share of tougher weeks, and this is a really tough week I thought for us. We started 0-2 and lost a couple to Walnut Creek, and then found a way to pull together three. So that's baseball though for you. It's just kind of you got to ride with the wave a little bit and um, try to keep on doing the right thing every single day and hope you get that good result. But try to go about the process every day, and our guys do a really good job of that. It's just taking the day by day and going in with a good mindset, ready to win that day. So hopefully we can kind of carry this over into this next week.
This week, particularly, we talk about how good the pitching is. It was great again, but your top three pitchers, sort of in your mind, in Laginto, Harper, and Santivanez, none of those three really had their ace stuff. What does it mean for the team to pull together the offense to pick them up on days where your best arms don't have it?
Yeah, no, it's huge. I thought the offense did an outstanding job of, continuing to take their quality at bats, and we started, getting some runners drove in, when they're in scoring position, and we always kind of tend to get runners on, but we got those big hits and some big two-out hits, and that really helps you, win those tight ball games and kind of picks up your pitching staff and. Yeah, it was really nice to have our hitters kind of do that, because our pitchers have been carrying us all year.
We saw a couple new faces in the lineup, Cam Hageman, an outfielder out of Ohlone College, and then Trevor Schlafer. How did you get those two guys onto the team, and what have you seen from them over this first week?
Yeah, just word of mouth from various people, just talking about, they're good people to have on your squad. And I really like both of them. They both work their tail off and, they really want to compete and they want to get better and they want to help the team. And I think they're two outstanding ball players. And we have a really small sample size right now of them, but I'm excited what I see out of both of them and really excited to see more.
Going back to the pitching side of things, especially the back end of that bullpen, is it safe to say that Braden Gentz is safely in a closer role if you're in a close game down the stretch for the rest of
Yeah,
the
I mean he's definitely one of our guys that probably our guy right now that we want in that situation. He's really good, and if we have a tight ball game, we definitely want him in the ninth inning right now. I mean and I need to get him the ball more. I felt like last week I didn't get him the ball enough, so I'm gonna try to get him early in the week so that we have a couple outings out of him, um, in the week because he's one of our better arms and he needs a pitch.
We saw on the offensive side, Nick Sebastiani, a great week. Two home runs yesterday. One of those was off a position player, but they still all count the same. And he got on base at almost a 500 clip this week. A tougher start to the season for a guy that redshirted his entire season, didn't play. You think he's getting a little more comfortable at the plate, seeing pitching every day?
Yeah, of course. And I think the key to that is that he redshirted this year. So he didn't have any live pitching, game action, in the spring. So not having that game action definitely can set you back a little bit and just a little bit of a slower start. But he's definitely swinging to what we think his capabilities are and taking those good at bats. And he's learning every day also. And he's working his tail off to get better and, just trying to learn something new each day, and he's definitely a quality bat that we like in our lineup.
We're now exactly halfway through, or this weekend we crossed into the second half of the CCL season. And a question I had for you at the start of the year was summer ball's a lot about buy-in and wanting to win more than just wanting your stats. How have you seen that come through in your team now 20 down, 20 to play?
Yeah, no, our team is outstanding. I love all of our guys. They're really trying to pull all in the same direction. I think they get along pretty good, and I could definitely see them, just coming together as a group. Um, and Yeah, I mean, we've had more early work, I feel like this year than any other year, and I feel like that's part of the bonding process. They have to they're going out there and trying to get better each day together, and working really hard. I mean, it's a really hard working group, and that's what I'm really proud of. And they really emphasize going about the process each day, and and then hopefully we end with good results.
Yeah, that was one thing I talked to your coaching staff about. Dave Hoke particularly talked a lot about how this team's out there early. They're putting in the work. They're doing their defensive drills with him before the game. One guy that stands out, Colton Boardman. I mean, he's been the first guy at the ballpark seemingly every single day this summer. What can you say about the team's work ethic and then Colton specifically?
Yeah, I mean, Colton doesn't say a lot, but the team follows him. You know what I mean? He's the first one there, and he's working the hardest. I feel like he's out there every single day taking his ground balls, and um, and working on his game, and everybody follows in that play, follows behind him. And yeah, he's an outstanding ball player, and he's top of the lineup for us, and first one there, and just really kind of a spark for our team, and that kind of good energy, I guess, that we want to represent as a Stomper every day, and he kind of sets a tone for us, and yeah, we love having him.
Your lefty bats have gotten going this week, especially Trent Keys and Paul Lazul both notched a couple extra base hits over this weekend. Trent, a guy we've talked about a lot, I mean, gets on base, but hasn't really seen the hits coming. Those two slower starts, a lot better the last week.
Yes, and I've been saying it and seeing it, and every day at batting practice, it's been getting better and better. And I could just see that progression happening throughout, the small amount of time that we've had so far. And both, they work really hard at perfecting their craft, and they're working really hard in the cages, and they work hard defensively, and just kind of all around working on their game and trying to get a little bit better today. And you could definitely tell that they've done that in the batting practice aspect, and now I'm glad that it's paying off in the game, and now starting to get a little bit more results, in the game, which is awesome.
A couple more for you here. Max Handren away from the team this week with injury, slated to come back for most likely the rest of the season with your team. You and I've talked to Kenny about it. Having a veteran bat at the top of the lineup, it's a younger squad this year. What does his approach bring, and really, I guess, what he brings as a leader to the dugout and to the ball club overall?
Yeah, again, Max isn't a big vocal guy, but his just presence and the way he goes about his business and his process every day, I think, is really good. And he really knows how to take care of his body and, get his body properly ready for that day. And I think, it's a really good example for some of the younger guys. And then, just the way he goes about his at-bats and his approach at the plate, and, just kind of everything he does, with his presence kind of is a good representation for the rest of the, younger guys.
We've talked about a lot of guys coming around at the plate here, and I'll just throw you one last one. Who is someone you're looking out for in the last now 18 games of the CCL season who can really break out and help this team in the stretch run?
I mean, there's numerous guys that I'm really excited about. Our two new guys, Sebastiani's been going off, and Shannon and Boardman's been solid for us all year, and we're hoping to get Akers healthy, and Libby's been solid for us. So I mean, and both of our catchers, and our lefties at first, and yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of good players, and I feel like they're all getting better, right? And so just kind of, I don't know if I have one to pick out but for you, but just I feel like our whole group, as a whole, we've gotten a lot better, and it's because of the hard work and batting practice every day. And I know Coach Gilroy's on them in the cage every day about doing the right thing, and it definitely pays off, And we have all of our BP throwers throw really good BP, and really help these guys out, kind of lock in each day, and really working at something in batting practice, I think, each day. And these guys have all gotten a lot better with their kind of approach at the plate.
Busy week coming up for the Stompers. They start with a couple on the road in Menlo Park and then Alameda before a big July 4th homestand over the weekend. Good luck this week, Coach, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Karen. I appreciate it.